Yes lads, welcome back to another video. So today's video I'm going to be showing you the fact that I've filled 12 journals in the last probably about 24 months now, maybe pushing 3 years, and I'm actually still retarded. So I've gone through it all, literally. I've got habit trackers, I've got journals that you can plan your week with and set goals, and then I've just had the normal journals that you just write in. I've done it all, and if I look back at, pretty sure this journal here is my first journal that I first literally ever got, going back to, actually no, this can't be my first one, surely. This goes back to the 1st of Jan last year, and I'm setting somewhere in here, I'm probably setting some ambitious goals for myself, and it's sad to say that even though I've written and filled up all of these pages within literally all of these journals, yeah, I'm still in exactly the same position I was in last year. Just the fact that maybe instead I've developed a bit more self-understanding. But in today's video I'm going to be walking you through, using this little walk through. I'm going to be showing you how can we actually break this cycle once and for all. And that's my teddy bear. So how can we actually break this cycle? So the key points is that knowledge without risk is just high definition daydreaming at the end of the day. And building a map is not actually the same as walking the territory. And how we use productive procrastination, like journaling, reading, planning, as a shield against the actual work that we need to do. And all it really is just a fact of mental masturbation. And then we'll continue going on to how you can not think your way out of this and think your way into a new way of life. Instead, you have to act your way into a new way of life and being. And what is this magic force that is stopping us from actually doing the work that we need to do, and why we resort to our little pages in our books as a sort of coping mechanism to avoid doing the actual work? And then towards the end of this video, we're going to quickly go over how do we actually just overcome this to start off with, and what is the solution going forward in order to achieve our goals. So I'm going to be going through a little presentation that I made on Miro, and if anything else comes to mind that I want to share with you, we'll do that on the fly as well. So there is a caveat to this that I think is still very important that people miss, because they shit on the fact that journaling's bad and they say that it's pointless, but I still don't think journaling is terrible. I still think there's a time and a place, and I think it's good for creative expression. So talking from my own personal experience, I enjoy getting my own thoughts down onto a piece of paper and think it is very almost therapeutic in a way. Now, it can be used as a crutch, but it's also good to reinforce identity and get thoughts onto paper if you're a bit of a deep thinker and overthink a little bit and want to kind of, get your thoughts down onto a piece of paper. Say you've got 100 thoughts running around, it's good to get your thoughts down on a piece of paper and, self-reflect. And also, like I just said, it's good to track progress and self-reflect and develop a deeper level of self-awareness and understanding. So let's get into this Miro board presentation. So, beyond thinking, the action is the imperative. So, how to overcome analysis paralysis to genuinely create real change, because that's what we're trying to do at the end of the day. We wouldn't be journaling or, putting our thoughts down onto a piece of paper if we didn't want to create long-lasting change. So, knowledge without the risk is just high-definition daydreaming, like I just said. We consume endless content, attend workshops, read books, and listen to podcasts, and we tell ourselves we're preparing, learning, or getting ready. But information without implementation is just solely just entertainment. We're not actually doing anything. We're not doing anything with ourselves apart from just writing. And we simply use learning as a comfortable substitute for the messy, uncertain work of actually doing something. Now, I love this quote from Epictetus where he says, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then what you have to do." No, sorry. First say to yourself what you would be, then what you have to do. So, in essence, what he's saying there is just say to yourself what the kind of person that you need to be, and what kind of actions you have to take, and then you just have to go and do it. It's as simple as that. You don't have to write about it or theorize and come up with all these ideas. All you have to do is first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So building is not the same as walking their territory. So as we can see here, we've got planning in action versus planning, basically. So planning versus action in place, sorry. So planning is this architect guy on the left writing and scribbling about how he wants the ideas and the design of his buildings to look like. But then if we didn't have the builder, this architect would just be drawing just for the sake of it. And if we just didn't have a builder, or say we just had the builder but no architect, this builder wouldn't know how to construct his vision and bring it to life. So we perfect the business plan, we refine the strategy, we create detailed roadmaps and meticulous timelines, and the blueprints that we form within these pages of our journals are beautiful. But planning feels productive while keeping us safe from the vulnerability of actually executing. And the map we create becomes an end in itself, because the moment that we actually put it into action, we realize that it's never as seamlessly simple as it seems on the pages that we write down. So simply, it's just a figure of our own imagination of reality, of what reality could be, without us really taking any action to create that desired reality in the first place. So why we use planning as a shield against the actual work. So we journal about our goals, we organise our systems, we optimise our workflows, and it feels like progress because we're busy and we're moving and we're doing something, and it feels productive because we're actually doing something. But it's just a sophisticated form of avoidance at the end of the day. And planning doesn't require us to actually face rejection or failure or uncertainty. And the real work sits untouched whilst we perfect the conditions for doing it. We look for the perfect script, the perfect idea, the perfect niche, whatever it is. But what we're actually never doing is the actual work. And you cannot think your way into a new life. You have to act your way into a new way of being. So I love this quote here of the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So what Lao Tzu, don't know whether I pronounce that correctly, but what he's saying here is the journey of 1,000 miles, whether that's maybe you want to start a business or start posting content or start going to the gym or whatever it is, you have to take the first step. And that first step does not involve writing it down on a piece of paper, planning out the day and how you're going to do it, and constructing this big old theory and idea of how you want your body to look like or your business to look like in the end. It comes down from walking into that gym to start off with, or sending that first cold DM, or picking up the phone and dialing a number and talking to a prospect. So beyond thinking, in order to overcome analysis paralysis and create real change, it really is just a form of mental masturbation at the end of the day. And to summarize this all, it comes down to one key word. Just one key word. And that word is bang. Resistance. Now, resistance is two forces pulling in two different directions, like bloody 6-7. Two forces pulling in two different directions, and that is what creates the resistance that prevents us from actually taking any sort of action. Now, the resistance you might be facing will be between your current self and Teddy! And your becoming self. And your becoming self. Now, the thing is the resistance, it can come in any sort of forms, but all it is just to avoid the work. That's all it is. It's literally just to avoid the work. And the resistance will come in any sort of form, and some sort of emotion that will bubble up that will prevent us from actually doing the work that we need to do. Now, some examples of this is fear, instant gratification, doubt, anxiety, rationalism, learning, research, comfort, perfection, waiting, justifying, warp priority, distraction, support, feeling vulnerable, addiction, criticism. And there's a couple others, but I'll just quickly say that fear, instant gratification, these ones that I've highlighted in green are what I personally suffer with myself. So instant gratification, so wanting to do something that doesn't instantly provide feedback or show the work or the result of the work that you've actually done. So that could be going on short form content or playing video games or doing something like that. But now, as I'm aware of this, I've removed these kind of things from my life, and now it doesn't become as much of it. It loses power over you once you've like cut it out of your life, basically. And learning, research, comfort, perfection, learning and research are two for me as well. Like, I'll look into the most random topic and write about it. That's why I've got so many bloody journals, because I'll write about it in my journal and it feels productive, because obviously when we're at school and we're learning, we're writing, and that feels productive. But it's completely different in the modern day and actually in the real world, where the only thing that actually matters is putting stuff out there and doing it, some sort of output into the world. So this is the main one, is procrastination. Not working because you're putting it off till tomorrow. And that's all it is. That's all journaling really is. It's just some sort of form of procrastination to prevent yourself from facing some sort of fear or some sort of negative emotion from doing the work, whether that makes you feel stupid or scared or whatever it is, to prevent you from doing the work. Let's get Teddy up quick. Look at him. He's a good boy. So, procrastination. So not working because we're putting it off till tomorrow. That's all it is. Now, I love this video from Chris Williamson, where he says
in love with an essay by Strangest Loop, and it is a list of things that are not doing the thing. So here is a list of things that are not doing the thing. Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger tweet about how you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of you doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all of the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people did the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading this essay isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing.
So, we can see there that the only thing that actually matters is doing the work at the end of the day. Like, no matter how much we write about our goals or write about what we're going to do or plan out this bloody adventure, or I've done it so many times where I've written in my journal about a business idea and never really done anything about it. Like, I'll start theorizing all these things that I can do for it and asking ChatGPT and using it saying like, plan out this bloody thing, and then all I'm doing is just writing in my journal. I'm not actually getting anything from this. So how do we defeat this then once and for all? Like, how do we actually stop ourselves from just avoiding the work? We journal like this. It's so simple. So this was my journal from last night. So obviously we can see the date. And my to-do list for today was get up at 6 a.m, start and draft my coursework, breakfast, go to the gym, record this YouTube video, hoover, read, work and sleep. Now, yes, I might add in my journal tonight, once I've done all of this work, I might add in this journal tonight some thoughts, or I will definitely plan tomorrow, but I'm not writing about what I need to do, or I'm literally just 3 words for each point, and I'm just saying what I need to do tomorrow and what time I'm going to get up and how I'm going to get it done. Literally it. I'm not writing anything else other than that for at least the start of the day. Like, nothing. I haven't even opened my journal today. And that, guys, is how we start journaling from now on. It's like, rather than theorizing, and whenever you catch yourself going into your journal and using it as some sort of cope, you need to bring that conscious awareness into yourself and be like, what am I actually doing? Like, what am I avoiding right now? And if you have your journal open, you can just write it down. Just say, okay, there's some outreach that I need to do, or I need to make this YouTube video, or there's a uni assignment that I need to do. There'll be plenty of reasons as to why we're not doing the work that we need to do, basically. And journaling, for me personally, has been one of my biggest coping mechanisms. It's just like opening my book and just writing, rather than actually just looking up and looking at the work that I need to do. Because I love this quote from Alex Hormozy, and I'm probably going to absolutely butcher this, but fear is 100 miles wide, but 2 centimeters deep. So what I'm saying there is, a task might look really daunting to start off with, but then when we take the first step into actually doing the action, it's so easy. And all this fear that comes up is all made up within our own minds, and it's literally just a figure of our own imagination. And the journaling is creating that sort of fear within our mind, and we're just overthinking and overanalyzing everything. So just the retard way of actually just journaling now is just to do a to-do list, plan tomorrow today, and simply plan today tomorrow. Simple. We plan out the day, we say what we need to do. Now, I might not tick off all of these. Like today, I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. I didn't start the coursework. I did have breakfast. I did go gym. I did record the YouTube video. And after this, I am going to hoover, read, work and sleep. Now, not every day you might not hit all of these. But it's about setting yourself some sort of tasks that you need to complete throughout the day and writing it down visually, seeing what you need to get done, and then you can keep yourself somewhat accountable throughout the day, and you already know when you wake up first thing what you need to do throughout the day, and then you leave yourself no room for negotiation. Now, you could have another section for to do this week where, you know, maybe at the start of the week you say what you need to get done, and you might have X amount of things. Like I know on the page before this I probably wrote, because obviously I did this on Tuesday, so on Monday or on Sunday we can say what we need to do throughout the week and set some targets for ourselves. And then even if it's extremely ambitious, even if we shoot for the moon, we'll still, you know, but you'll be surprised at how much work you can get done throughout the week. And this is the first step, is by planning out what we're going to do and not using it as some sort of cope to avoid doing the work. So now when it is time to work, you do the work no matter how you feel, because you've already planned it out the day before and you already have an idea of what you need to do, and it makes it so much easier. This is what I've been doing now for since I realized this. Like, I don't journal half as much as I used to, and you might have to go through a stage where you just don't journal at all to break that kind of habit and cycle. And everything else that you're doing apart from the actual work, it's just a cope. It's all it is. It's just you're avoiding the pain of putting yourself out there, or the being judged, or feeling stupid. All of these fears might conjure up, and for me personally, we just go to the fucking journal to just, as it's a comfort blanket and a bandage to put over the fact that we've got an open wound and we need to face the fear and just pick up our nutsacks and go balls deep. And this, lads, is how we achieve our goals. It's by planning them out. And like that quote from Epictetus from earlier on, we say, first say to yourself what you would be, and then what you have to do. So you have a goal, whatever that might be. So for me currently it's 10k per month with my own online business, and also, you know, grow a YouTube channel, and also achieve a first at university. So I've got like 3 goals, and then also I've got some like fitness goals as well that I want to achieve. But none of that comes from just writing about it or thinking about it or theorizing. It all comes from doing the actual work that you need to do. Like, I didn't get a good physique from writing about my training program, and for my business I'm not achieving any results or achieving anything from just writing about it. You have to literally just pick up your nutsack and just get to work, pretty much. So yeah, if you want me to go deeper on any of these topics, or, you know, want to discuss any of this down below, feel free to just drop a comment and I'll get back to you and we can go further. Like, I could go further into the current self and becoming self, go further into the resistance, and go further into how to overcome these resistance, like coping mechanisms basically. But the biggest one for me I found was procrastination, and was overcoming journaling and basically using journaling as a cope rather than actually doing the work that we need to do. So yeah, I hope you guys found this somewhat useful. I'm going to be posting more regularly, doing these kind of walkthroughs. Nothing serious, you know, just whatever comes to mind really, just talking about things that I've dealt with and how I overcame them, and, you know, sharing a bit about my entrepreneurial journey, being a creator, life at uni, all that kind of stuff, being in the army. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Also make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Peace.